Begins with me.
Well, we are not ramming down change begins with me, because change begins with me is only one aspect of the policies of government, of the present administration. And at whatever forum I find myself, I tend to say that almost every Nigerian that loves this country is not happy with the state of our being as a nation. And because we are all not happy, wherever you get a group of people, 2, 3, 4, they always talk about how bad things have become in this country, how much government has not done this, how much leaders have not done that. But nobody actually has sat down to self-police and to self-criticize and to self-examine. And this is a problem. We say, why don't we start the process from ourselves? As individuals, as groups, as institutions, as leaders, across the broad spectrum of our national framework.
How easy is that? You know, when you see a lot of fraud going on at the top, you see a lot of indiscipline and all of that, you know, how easy would that be for those at the bottom? It
is very difficult. It is actually not easy, but it is not something that we can simply throw our hands in the air and keep our arms akimbo and say we are not going to do anything about it. It is still better to do, no matter how minimal, to commence the process of correcting the wrongs. So I am not unaware of how difficult it is, but I'm also confident that problems do exist. We shouldn't run away from problems. They are meant to be surmounted. What strategies you deploy, what efforts you put in place to solve the problems actually depends on your own understanding.
So now that your agency is supposed to be a major player for the change begins with me slogan, so to speak, you know, how pushful are you towards this, making this happen?
What you see, perhaps you as an individual, is what you see on the television screen. When I came on board, I designed what I call the local government assembly. This local government assembly provides me with a platform to directly engage with the people, directly. And it is a program which we intend to take to each and every local government in this country. Who constitutes the local government assembly? The traditional institutions in the local government, the local government bureaucracy and its leadership, political parties in the local government, the women groups in the local government, the youth groups in the local government, the local government NASIMA chapters where any exists, or the farmers' council or the farmers' cooperatives. We bring civil society in the local governments. We bring the religious groups across the divide in the local governments. By the time the security agencies in the local government, by the time you are able to bring such a wide spectrum of representation under one roof and you engage with them and you tell them directly and you take feedback, you can be assured that you must have reached at least more than half of the households in that particular local government. Now, this is the idea. In fact, follow me on Wednesday. I'm going to run a local government assembly in Sagbama local government in Bayelsa. I'm going to run a similar local government assembly in a local government in Imo State. Of course, we have run in quite a number of local governments in North Central states. We are going to parts of the south. It is an open assembly. It's simple. It's direct. You talk to the people, and then the people give the feedback. Now, this feedback gets back to the government. And what I have discovered in this local government assembly is something actually which will enrich our democracy and enrich the Nigerian state. And of course, also inform the political leadership of the fact that we have no governmental presence at the local government level.
Now, you see, this local government assembly really, you might say, or everyone might say, it's commendable, but again, the difficulty in changing the psyche of people is what is at stake right now. You know, so I know your predecessors have tried the same, you know, means to get the people change their psychology, get them to really start the change from their own end. But how feasible is this at the end of the day?
I give a lot of commendation to my predecessors. A lot has been done in that respect. A lot needs to be done. But changing of perspective is as much the affairs and the business of the government as it is your business and mine. First and foremost, how do we do that? What are the principal foundational levels of character formation and the behavior in the family? Quite a number of people around this country will agree with me are no longer parenting, simply because we have allowed values to go down. And these values, call them whatever. They could be religious values, they could be African values, they could be Nigerian values, but they are values which must govern our lives.
And you don't think you're concentrating too much at the bottom?
No, we are not at all. Because the point here is the family actually, which is supposed to be the foundational level at which character and the behavior should be formed, is also being affected by the collapse of family values. So we are taking the message of, first and foremost, making parents realize that there is a need. There is a need for all of us as individuals to ensure that we keep a very good eye on our children and the kind of things that we inculcate in them. That's one. Two, to complement what the families are doing by our education system, which unfortunately also has suffered, you know, from these collapsed values. The education system, perhaps because of persistent experimentation, has along the road missed so much of the basis, so much so that you see our education system really not bringing or educating or inculcating the kind of values that should go into our younger country.
All right, hold on with your thoughts. We're still with the Director General of the National Orientation Agency. Join us again for more after the break.